the other thing that I learned through having more listings is the strength that I have as a listing realtor with getting my clients, my sellers, on board with doing the pre-inspection, staging the home, getting it painted, stuff like that. I sold 2 homes one in 12 hours, one in 36 hours, because they took my advice. They've done everything up front, and they're just going, wow.
So now that generates some great stories for you to tell.
Yep.
That becomes part of your listing presentation and your value proposition.
I used
Because
it yesterday.
you've got the data now to back it up. You know, it's not just a theory. Well, if you listen to me and you pre-inspect and you stage and you get the home positioned correctly, I think it'll sell faster. No, now it's, here's my data that shows this. It's not just pie in the sky idea.
It's pretty amazing.
What was your fear of listings before? Or what, that's a leading question. Why did you not want to focus on that before?
Because of the Darwaldens and Matt Dimmicks.
So what do you mean by that?
Their experience, their reputation, their strength in listing appointments and getting them listed, that type of thing.
So were you concerned that you would be competing against individuals like that?
Yes.
Or were you just concerned to play in the sandbox that those individuals play in?
Both. Both.
What do you think of that reasoning now?
I really don't think about it.
Well, understand that we come up with all of these drunk monkeys, right? And I'm not picking on you. This is the process. We go, well, I'm not a Dar, I'm not a Dan, I'm not a Matt, Dan Wolf, and Matt Demick, these guys that are super strong in listings. And what's interesting is, number one, the odds that you're actually going to compete with any of those individuals on a listing appointment are fairly slim. I think, I don't recall ever competing against Matt for a listing appointment. Dar and I went head to head more times than anyone, but even then it was 2 times a year. It wasn't like I competed. So we have this concept that we're like, in the trenches battling with them. The truth is, there's so much business, it's not going to be very often you're competing with them. It will happen a bit, at some point. So that's number one. Number two, it really doesn't matter if you're playing if the second piece is, gosh, I'm going to be listing property, and these are the people that are listing property. Their business, their listings have absolutely no impact on yours. I mean, the buyers are going to pick the house.
You're competing with any agent.
The buyers are none of them. The buyers are going to pick the house they're going to pick. They're not going to pick it because Dar's name is on it, or Matt's name is on it, or Amy's name. They're going to buy their house, right? You can't force anyone to buy a house. None of us are that. Myself included. Well, yeah, but my point is, if I know that I'm going to be listing property and I'm on a street that has Dar's listing, Matt's listing, Dan Wolf's listing, Beth Simpson, and I'm a little nervous, it really is irrelevant. They're picking the house because of the house. So them being there doesn't have any impact on you. Does that make sense? You as a listing agent aren't competing with them as a listing agent. You're never talking to them unless you're going, hey, how's it going for you? Are you getting any activity? That kind of thing. So we create these objections, and it's so funny because as realtors we work on objection handlers, and yet we never use them on ourselves. We work hard to be great with objection handlers, to overcome questions in our commission, or I'm going to FSBO, or why should I list with you? You guys know the objections. Why can't I price at 10,000 higher? Because then I've got room to play with. I've got room to come down. You guys know to be great objection handlers. You can whip out the scripts like that, and yet we create our own objections and we can't talk ourselves through them. You'll look at it and go, wait a minute. And how has it impacted your time?
It's been great to have that phone ring and go, hey, Amy, I want to go show your house. Hey, Amy, I want to go. Hey, Amy. I'm just going, this is so cool.
As opposed to, that's the other.
Let's load it up and go visit homes. So, and I've gotten better with my buyers too. I love the strength of the language, that we learn here with Keller Williams, as far as I'm going to show you 5 to 7 homes and you're going to be able to make a decision. I met with buyer last Monday. We looked at properties Thursday, wrote an offer Friday, it was accepted through a competing offer on Sunday. 1 week, and they're going, we thought it would take 3 months, and I said, I told you, 5 to 7 homes. We looked at 6. And I love that. It's what they don't know.
You
What
set
you
the
tell them, you
expectations.
educate them. It's
Well, and that is coming from contribution. Because it's not just
Absolutely.
about, well, I don't wanna go out and show them 30 houses. I mean, I get that, but there's no point for them. That's not a good use of their time either. You know, there's no value that they gain in looking at 26 houses that they are never even really gonna give a second thought to. You're wasting their time as well as our time.
Right.
So, but I love the conversation that you can be sitting at home and working in your garden or doing whatever you wanna do, working on a
Riding
home
bikes.
project, riding your bike. I'm gonna go show your house. Great, no problem, thanks, bye, click, that's it. Hey, Amy, I've got an offer on your listing, awesome, send it to me. And you're not stopping what you're doing, getting in your car, spending 4 hours showing property, you gain your time back. Your life comes back when you're listing based. Yes, sir.
This is a good conversation for me, because I've sold a couple of houses now. I know I can sell houses. I almost can make somebody buy a house.
Don't do
But I
that.
don't really believe that.
Don't do that.
However, you know, now that I've done that, it's like listings is an unknown thing. Oh, I don't know, you're gonna walk in and tell somebody that you can do a listing, so this is really good for me to listen to this, because this, I like this a lot.
What's the other objection that we hear about being listing based from people that are moving into a listing based? I don't know how to price the houses.
Yeah.
I'm
And they're
concerned.
afraid of the price reduction.
There's 2 things. Number one, I don't know how to advise them on strategically positioning themselves, price wise. Number 2, what if I'm stuck with a listing that doesn't sell? Then I've got a mad seller, then I've got somebody frustrated with me, then they're blowing up my phone. Those are the other fears. Well, number one, if you've worked with buyers, guess what? You know how to price property. You know the inventory better than anybody else does, because you've seen it all. Yes, go
Plus,
ahead.
there's such great stuff on KW Connect. They can go on and watch Chris Heller and, what's that gal out of Texas? There's like 5 different listing presentations that people can watch and fine tune their own after that.
The listing issue, a big bugaboo on that is the price thing, the reduction, stuff like that. And the last 2 weeks, it sort of took that all away.
Yeah.
I said, now I know what to do with the person I'm listening with up front, so that it's not a big bugaboo.
Right,
And
exactly.
that was worth a lot.
Yeah,
Rather than being the stealth agent,
right.
which is a good word.
Yeah, secret agent, stealth agent. Well, I think that, again, I love hearing, Amy, it's awesome to look at your numbers and say, year to date, you're 2.4 million over what you were last year. What's more awesome to me, though, is that you're 2.8 over and you have got some time back.
Yeah.
How is that not the best of both worlds? And that's really our goal. We talk about it, again, this sort of mystical, mission statement, careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living. That's what we're talking about, is running a business that supports your life, that doesn't control your life. And that's where realtors go hard left, is we're just a slave to that phone. We feel like we gotta be running and running and running, but you can have an incredible business and actually know your children.
And
Or your spouse.
I actually realized that in August, how much time I did have at home this summer by having those listings rather than buyers.
Buyers are very exhausting.
Not if you only show them 5 to 7 homes.
Well, and that's the buyer consultation, right? And
Absolutely.
that's why you practice on the buyer consultation and knowing exactly what you need to say so that you set the expectations rather than, okay, here we go, this journey's gonna take us 6 months, and we're all gonna have some of those buyers
Sure.
that pop up. Yet if you're really consistent with that buyer consultation and you're setting the expectations, there should be no reason that it's taking, more than a handful of buyers every year, the 5 to 7 homes.
I shut that down. I finally figured out last night. I have a friend who wants to sell her house, and she wants to buy another. And she has a mother who wants to. And we wrote an offer, showed her 6 or 7 houses. We wrote an offer. This competition didn't get it because, of course, they didn't want to go over the asking price. So we went back out again, started looking, and I took a pocket listing, filled out, in a buyer's agency. It was a I've got to get this mother out of the way and under control. And the minute I got them to sign, she signed the pocket listing last night, she signed it, said it's gonna give us till the middle of January to get your house on the market, because she's lived there 20 years. And she has stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I said, just get a Connex and move, because it's a little ranch, you know. But once she signed that listing, and the buyer's agency, she couldn't wait to go home last night and start packing.
Because you gave her a sense of or commitment. I have to because she was making me crazy. I told her for 1 year, but like I can't see through the place this was outgoing. But knowing that she was willing to write last week, and knowing that she can buy a house without selling her other house financially was a real, that was an important phone call. So by having to do that,
So real quick, one other person I want to talk to real quick. Melanie Patty, can you talk to me about how your journey has been? Because we have other new agents in the room, you know, newer, and so, you know, you've not been in this for a little while, and you've had some success. So talk to me a little bit about it.
Mine was slower. I'm kind of C, and I have to know what I'm doing before I do it. So I wasn't able just to, hammer it out like I thought I was, because I'm also D.
Oh, the internal battle.
No.
So I took a lot of classes. I spent a lot of time in the training center. I took Bold this year, and honestly, now this is over, I'm afraid to admit this, but I feel like I've kind of observed Bold